I'm going to be showing you how to use the Zoom H2n today. The first thing that you'll want to do is check that you have batteries installed and that they're charged. You can do that by sliding off this compartment on the back of the device. It takes 2 AA batteries. Check that you have an SD card installed. The compartment for that is on the bottom of the device. You access it by opening up this tab and pushing gently on the card one time to slide it out. To install it, you again just push it in gently until it clicks. Power up the device by sliding the switch that's located on the right side and holding it down until the lights come on. On the right side of the device, you'll see the menu button. Below it is a wheel labeled Play, which will be used to navigate the menu. Push the wheel up or down to move up or down in the menu. Push it in to select. To go up a level in the menu or back in the menu, push the menu button in. Now let's take a look at some of the menu options. Open the menu by pushing the menu button. Select Record to access the record settings. Change the recording file format by going to Record Format. If you're going to be doing a language documentation project or another project that requires archive quality audio, select Wave Format and a minimum quality of 44.1 kHz and 16-bit. Select by pushing in on the wheel. Now go down to the File Name menu. Make sure that it is set to name files according to the date and time that they were recorded. This will help you organize your recordings later. When you're all done, press the menu button and hold to return to the home screen. The next thing to think about is the microphones that you'll use to make your recording. The Zoom H2n has its own microphone capsules built in. Looking at the top of the device, you can see the dial that helps you select the microphone capsules you'll use. Right now, the arrow on the selector is pointing towards the front of the device, and the XY microphone capsules that are on the front, here and here. You can see that the red light is on to show that those microphones are active. XY microphones are your first choice for language documentation when the sound is all coming from one direction. Point the front of the recording device in the direction the sound is coming from. On the back of the device are 3 other microphone capsules called the MS microphones for middle and side. Turning this dial, you can select them, and you'll see that the red light comes on to show that they're active. The MS microphones are often used in filmmaking. Point the back of the recording device in the direction the sound is coming from. You can also use both the XY and middle side microphones at the same time on either 2 or 4 channels by turning the knob to the left or right. You can see that both the front and back red indicator lights come on to show that XY and MS microphones are both active. 2-channel and 4-channel should be used when sound is coming from every direction. Use 2-channel unless you have a good reason to use 4-channel because it takes less space on your memory card. If you'd like to use a lav mic or a headset mic with the Zoom H2n, you'll need to enable plug-in power. To do that, open the menu, select Input, select Plug-in Power, and turn it on. Hold down the menu button to return to the home screen. Plug the microphone in on the left-hand side of the recorder where it says Line In. Now we've selected our microphones, but what do we actually need to pay attention to while we're recording? Looking at the screen here, you can see that when I talk, there's a bar that moves from the left to the right of the screen. This shows the recording level. We want to pay attention that these bars never cross the endpoint here because that creates a really terrible distorted sound called clipping. But we do want to make sure that a good level of sound is being recorded. We normally want to keep these bars between 12 and peaking at about -6 on this scale. We can control the level of recording by turning this knob on the side to make the microphone more or less sensitive, like this. Watch what happens. When I turn the recording sensitivity down, you can see that the recording level bars only move a tiny bit. But when I turn it up to make the microphones more sensitive, you get more and more sound. You can see that a small bar is left to show where the peak is, and we don't want that to go above about -6. Again, it's very bad if these bars cross the endpoint here, so we want to be careful that that doesn't happen. During the recording process, it's easy to get distracted and to forget about that. The recorder has one built-in tool to help us to avoid clipping, and that's this red indicator light at the top, which primarily shows that the microphone is on, but also the light turns off when clipping happens. Watch this. As I talk louder and make some snapping noises that are very loud in the microphone, you can see that the light blinks. If that happens, you'll want to immediately turn down the microphone sensitivity. When you're ready to record, the first thing that you should do is plug in headphones to monitor the audio. On the left side of the device, where it says line out and has a little picture of headphones. The headphones give you the sound that is actually being picked up by the recorder, and so that's what you want to know if it sounds good or not, so it's important to always monitor with headphones. You'll hear a lot of things through the recorder that your ears don't pick up. Then you'll press the record button to begin recording. Notice that the timer starts to show that recording is happening, and also the red indicator light comes on, showing that the device is recording. From time to time, you'll want to check that the red light is still on and that the timer is still going, and that your recording hasn't accidentally been interrupted when you weren't expecting it. Also notice that in the lower right hand corner of the device that there's a timer that's counting down. That shows the number of minutes and seconds and hours that are left on your SD card and how much space there is. In the lower left hand of the device, it says 48/16, which shows the file format that's being recorded. In this case, a WAV file of 48 kilohertz and 16 bits. You also see the battery life that's left here. When you're done recording, you can press the record button again. Now see that the light's off and the timer has stopped. If you'd like to replay the recording that you've just made, you can do that using the play button on the side. This is the same dial that you used to navigate the file menu. The difference is this time we're not going to press the menu button to open up the menu first. We're going to, right from the recording home screen here, press the button in to play the selected file. You can hear through headphones or through the built-in speaker in the device and control the volume with the dedicated volume control on the left-hand side right next to the microphone jack. When you're done recording, you can turn off the device by pulling down on the power button on the right-hand side and then releasing it. To transfer your recordings to your computer, take out the SD card and put it in your computer or connect to your computer with a USB cable. Start with the Zoom H2n off. Plug a mini USB into the port on the left side of the device. Then connect the USB cable to your computer. On the menu that appears, select SD card reader. The Zoom will show up on your computer just like an external hard drive or USB stick would. Simply find the files and move them to the location you would like on your computer.